Hello, my name is Mr. Nozzy, and FYI, it's Chainsaw Warrior, a game originally created in 1987 as a one-player board game published by Games Workshop and designed by Stephen Hand. The original board game has now been turned into a digital version, and surprisingly both have a lot of features in common, maybe a little too much. In the original board game, the player has 60 minutes to navigate a labyrinth composed of an abandoned urban slum in New York, represented by 2 decks of cards. The player must then locate the invading entity called the Darkness that is attempting to destroy the city. The slum contains hazards, zombies, mutants and other creatures affected by the Darkness, who will attempt to kill the player or slow him down. Failure to kill the Darkness will result in the player death by running out of time, dying of injuries, or succumbing to zombie venom / radiation poisoning, resulting in a loss for the player. If you are lucky enough to find and duke it out with said Darkness, it's kill or be killed. All of these aspects hold true to the digital version you see before you. Being a board game emulator, the player has several attributes randomised by die roll at the start of a game, which affect hand-to-hand combat, marksmanship, ability to take damage, and reaction time. There are also separate tracks to record the effects of zombie venom and radiation damage, which can hinder your game luck. Differing from the board game, the digital version enables you to choose your assortment of weapons and items, which include the chainsaw, the repeater, a knife, knuckle dusters, a few grenades, and a critical item called the laser lancer, which is the only weapon capable of destroying the Darkness. There are more weapons, but they aren't exciting enough to mention, unfortunately. Loss of the laser lancer, or running out of ammunition for it, results in the player being forced to leave the slums for a replacement and then re-enter after a time penalty. A small number of variant rules, such as being able to gain additional equipment before entering these slums in return for an expenditure of time, and an additional weapon and equipment cards, have been added for the digital version. Gameplay is basic to say the least. Why Rock Digital, the developers of the game, decided to port this title is a wonder to me. In card deck games I've played, most enjoyment involves around the tactics used to be skillful in manipulating and taking down your opponent. Chainsaw Warrior is a single player game, so the satisfaction value in a card deck game is already halved. Let's face it, crushing an AI's resolve is not possible. Satisfaction rating 0. Not only this, you have no real say in winning or losing. For each card that's turned over, you choose a weapon, be it hand-to-hand or ranged. Die are then rolled from opposing forces. The highest value combined with their attack score wins. It's that simple. Rinse, repeat, and rinse and repeat again. Variety is a word missing from the game's vocabulary. Enemy card types are so sparse, you may just perish. Deja vu is deadly in high doses, so be warned. To boot, the UI design is poor and the use of space is awful. In-game displays are large and somewhat non-interactive. Weapon and ability choice cards are large, forcing you to scroll around aimlessly. Thankfully, the small amount of weapons and skills on offer is so small, Carpal Tunnel has been fortunate enough to have the time to go on vacation. Hooray! It's tempting to say that the learning curve is high, but wait, there's no learning to do. What you can take from this is the fact that hard and medium difficulty will destroy your soul forever. It's one hard grind to nowhere, and the game becomes brutally punishing. No matter how well you roll your virtual dice, it's just too tough. Unfortunately, getting to the Darkness is not enough of a tantalising motivation to keep me from uninstalling this game as soon as I can. Don't mistake me for a single-minded gamer. I like my collectible card games and other genres. This just doesn't cut the mustard. Copying a good concept and simply porting without serious thought for the original game's integrity is plain wrong. As a game, it seems individuals who will benefit most are those looking for a nostalgic trip down memory lane. Even then, the trip will be short-lived. You know what they say about revisiting fond childhood memories. In my humble opinion, avoid and save your £3.99 for something worthwhile. Thanks for watching, and remember, for more game reviews, make sure your first stop is GameLock.